Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today I'm going to shine my shoes. I am weirdly getting ready for a whole bunch of group readings that come up around Christmas, and a lot of people ask me, like, Christmas, and I was like, no, kind of really what happens is that's when the whole family's together. Everybody comes in, and maybe grandma just passed, or grandpa just passed, or something happened in the family, and they're trying to reconnect. And so I will get invited to Christmas gatherings of other people's families. And it's kind of strange and weird, but this is one of the things I do to get ready for that. So I am got my brand new shoe polish. This is a brown. Um, so I get a good amount on there. And then you put your hand in there and swirl it all about. I try not to get it on the stitching. I think it makes it look bad when the stitching is dyed as well. So I try to get as close as I can without getting on it. But group readings is something that I really love to do. And I always think it's interesting. Like, you'll usually have, like most families, one or two people that are more outgoing and will ask tons and tons of questions. And then there's other people that are kind of like, I want to ask questions, but I'm not sure if I'm ready for the answer. Or I really would like an answer, but I'm not sure how to ask. So I get that quite a lot. And I always tell people, I'm kind of used to it all now. I think I am. There's always some strange questions. I've gotten asked some strange questions over the years, but I also think it's quite interesting um, about the family dynamics and, how each person, even if they're brothers and sisters, how they react differently or deal differently with different passings in their family. Some are more, I really love mom, and some of them are kind of like, we had a strange relationship, or, saying like, I wish I'd have been, changed how I dealt with her, or I wish I could understand like why she didn't like certain people, or why, people, didn't in the family didn't care for her, or why she felt mistreated, or whatever it is in childhood. And I think that's kind of one of the interesting things that come out usually in a group reading is, you know, sometimes it's abuse in the family, sometimes it's kind of that black sheep, just one person was kind of not treated the same as everybody else. And so that can be really interesting and drive the dynamics in a different way. So this one's all done. This one is much lighter, as you can tell. This is just um, all set up, and let that dry. I um, so I would think that's like kind of an interesting phenomena that happens in group readings. And the other one I think is interesting. A lot of times, like, family members will tell me like they've always had abilities, or they've all seen ghosts, or they've always connected weirdly on the other side, or they see things, but mom said, oh no, that's a bad thing, or grandma said that was a bad thing. And so they're kind of not really sure like how to take their own psychic abilities, kind of like, how do I do this? Or now that I'm 30, 40, or 50 years old, like, how do I deal with my psychic abilities? And a lot of times they're always interested to find out, like, a lot of times psychic abilities run in families. And so that can be kind of like a strange thing. And not everybody calls them psychic abilities. I think sometimes it's interesting that, it's kind of like, well, mom always had a great instinct. Like, she knew who to trust, or she knew, kind of like instinctually, like who would be on her side in the family. And people are like, I don't know how she did that. Well, that's her psychic ability. Sometimes psychic ability is what people call gut feelings. I know that's an interesting one. But your gut feeling is a psychic ability, but most people don't really talk about it that way. They talk about it as they have a great instinct, or they have a way of dealing with people. And it's like, well, that's kind of their instinct of, this is how to, this person I need to be more aggressive with, or this person I need to be more subdued with, or this person I need to be kind of different with. And so that kind of just makes things different in a different way, but they kind of get that instinct from their psychic abilities. And that's kind of the really interesting, cool part about it, is that they usually have those abilities their whole life, but they just don't consider them psychic abilities. They just, you know what I'm saying, like an instinct. And I was like, but that instinct is your psychic ability. I know it is. I know it is. So I've got both my boots done. And they look much darker, which I was kind of happy for. I really wanted to. I've got my top over here. Sometimes the tops can be really weirdly hard to put back on. But psychic abilities are something that I kind of believe everybody has to an extent. Just some people embrace them more than others. Done. And that's kind of the cool part, is you'll have family members, you know, moms or aunts in a family that really dealt with their abilities really well and kind of embraced them, and then other ones didn't. And I think it's more of like how that family dealt with it than anything else. So, but it's kind of, families are very dynamically cool like that, that you have some that have really embraced their abilities and others that haven't. Some that don't really do too much with it, but I think it's interesting because you can see it on the outside. Being an outsider and going to a group reading, you can kind of see that dynamics in the family. Who thought they were the favorite child and who thought they were the black sheep in the family, or, you know, not the one that was cared for as much. And I think that's really interesting, because usually the one that's the favorite is the one opposite of that parent. Like they're the ones more like the other parent. And then the black sheep is usually more like that parent. And it's kind of like that parent's way of going like, I don't like this about me, so I may not like this about you as well. And it's kind of like, if they were shy and this child is shy, then it's kind of like, I wish I was more outgoing, and therefore they kind of favor the other child, because it's like, you're opposite of me. And I think that's an interesting phenomenon. It can be quite interestingly in different families, but talking to people on the other side can give you like an amazing insight. Some people even have the ability to kind of see past lives, or kind of see that ghost life in different formats and kind of at different ages, so you can kind of like really understand what that person went through. Maybe not walking a mile in their shoes, but kind of seeing it through their eyes. And you don't see their whole life, you just see that segment or that part of it. And so that can be quite interesting. So I think it looks pretty good. What do you think? I need to get this top side. But these are my group reading shoes. If you've ever had a group reading, tell me what you thought about it. If you've ever had one of my group readings, tell me what you thought about it. And have you ever considered doing a group reading with your family? Not with me, I'm just saying, like in general, have you ever thought about doing a group reading with your family? Because I think that's the fun, interesting part, is that different family members think about it different ways. But I've done families of like only 3 or 4 people are ready to do that or wanting to do that, and then you'll have group readings of like 30 or 40 in one family, cousins and aunts and uncles and grandparents and all kinds of stuff coming together. And that's kind of the cool part for me, the fun part. But it's one of those, you just never know how many people are going to really be into it in your family. So what do you think? Did it good? I think it did pretty well. Nice and shiny, much darker, which is what it really needed, because it had been dry for a while. So I was glad I was finally able to find my brown shoe polish. But I just wanted to check in with you guys and let y'all see a weirder side of me. I love shining up my shoes. I love getting ready for things. When I was a kid, I got paid like 25 cents for doing this, so I got really good at it. But this one just needed a little more shine. So these are my shiny shoes now. Ready for my group readings coming up. And if you have any questions, let me know. Y'all have a great day.